Hello friends, welcome back once again to our online educational video channel. Today I have brought the another important video for our discussion related to the digestive system. And somewhere I must say here that we are in the last segment or the last part of our chapter digestive system. So today we are going to discuss about another important topic of digestive system. It is the digestion and absorption of carbohydrate, fats and proteins. Up to this we are familiar with the various organs of alimentary canal. You can see the last videos posted just before this. So this is going to be our 7th part. Before this 6 videos has been uploaded over the YouTube, where we got introduced to the various organs involved in the alimentary canal. We also got introduced to the various organs, what they are called as the accessory organs of digestive system, were also studied. Their role, their structure, all and everything is studied about all these organs. And now we are going to start our discussion related to the digestion and absorption of all these carbohydrate, fats and proteins. Before starting the main topic, let us discuss the certain basic things related to the digestive system. तो जहाँ तक देखा जाए हम हर रोज खाना खाते हैं, and the basic question is what कि हम लोग खाना क्यों खाते हैं. So definitely each one of you might know the answer, and it is nothing but what, in order to obtain the energy, and this energy is required by the each and every cell present in our body. So how the food particle taken into the alimentary canal reaches to each and every cell, and the answer is what, that is the digestion and the absorption that takes place across the alimentary canal. It helps for the substances to cross from alimentary canal and enter into the blood circulation. Each and every cell for its regular activities requires the energy, and this energy can be obtained by either the energy sources can be obtained by either of the one of the energy sources, carbohydrate, fats and proteins. So whenever we take a diet, whenever we take a food, these carbohydrate, foods, fats and proteins are present in our food. But when they are taken as a part of food, they are generally present in a complex form. They are generally present in a solid form. So it is not possible for the any solid material or the solid particle to cross the any biological membrane. So unless and otherwise these solid particles, this complex form of food substances are broken down into the smaller substances and dissolved into a fluid secreted within the alimentary canal to form the solution, they cannot be absorbed. So all these changes takes place throughout the alimentary canal, and that is nothing but what, digestion. So digestion is a process in which mechanical and chemical breakdown of food particle takes place into the smaller molecules or into the smaller particles so that they can be easily absorbed. तो डाइजेशन होने वाला है. सो एलिमेंट्री कैनल में थ्रू आउट क्या प्रेजेंट है, हमने देखा एलिमेंट्री कैनल में बहुत सारे ऑर्गन है, और बहुत सारे ऑर्गन का क्या रोल है, तो बहुत सारे एंजाइम वो सीक्रेट करेंगे. कहाँ पे सीक्रेट करेंगे, एलिमेंट्री कैनल में. तो जो मैकेनिकल डाइजेशन है वो तो हो जाएगा माउथ में, लेकिन वट एवर द डाइजेशन टेक्स प्लेस विद इन अ माउथ, इट इज इनकम्प्लीट. द कंप्लीट डाइजेशन टेक्स प्लेस विद द हेल्प ऑफ केमिकल्स सीक्रेटेड इनटू द एलिमेंट्री कैनल. Alimentary canal means what? It starts with mouth, ends with anus. So throughout the mouth, various secretions are secreted, and these secretions are enriched with the digestive enzymes. And these digestive enzymes are responsible for the complete digestion of carbohydrate, fats, and proteins. And now, as far as the examination is considered, the question can be asked for the 5 marks. It can be either asked as a explain digestion and absorption of carbohydrate for 5 marks. Explain digestion and absorption of fats for 5 marks, or the similar thing related to the protein. This is going to be a very important topic, and this is going to be a very easy topic. So whenever this asked in the examination, we must be able to solve this question, and it is going to be very easy. If you stay throughout this video, at the end of the video you will find that this is going to be one of the easiest topic. So let us start how exactly the digestion of carbohydrates takes place. Or let us start our topic, and the very first one we will discuss about the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates. So whatever the carbohydrates are present in the food, they are generally present in the form of disaccharides or the polysaccharides. So they are generally present in the form of sucrose, in the form of lactose. So sucrose and lactose are considered as a disaccharide form of a carbohydrate, or they may be present in the form of starch. Starch, it is a polysaccharide. The another form of polysaccharide is also present, which is known as the cellulose. But cellulose is not digested by the human digestive system. Cellulose can be properly digested by the animals. For example, cows, buffaloes, or goat. These animals having the ability to digest the cellulose, while human beings are unable to digest the cellulose. That's why the cellulose not included as the major carbohydrate present in the human diet. So what we said, the major carbohydrate present in human diet are sucrose, disaccharide, lactose, also disaccharide, and the starch, polysaccharide. So when they are present in the diet, when they enters into the alimentary canal, when they enters into the mouth, when they enters into stomach, when they enters into the small intestine, being their last structure, they are not able to get absorbed. Absorb means what? To get transport from alimentary canal into the blood system. हर एक सेल को एनर्जी लगने वाली है, एनर्जी मिलने वाली कार्बोहाइड्रेट से, एनर्जी मिलने वाली फैट से, एनर्जी मिलने वाली प्रोटीन से, लेकिन मेजर सोर्स ऑफ द एनर्जी इट इज अ कार्बोहाइड्रेट. तो एक कार्बोहाइड्रेट हर एक सेल के पास कैसे पहुंचेगा? तो थ्रू द ब्लड पहुंचेगा. और ब्लड में कहाँ से आएगा? तो ये आएगा एलिमेंट्री कैनल से. और एलिमेंट्री कैनल में कहाँ से आएगा? एक्सोजेनसली टेकन एज अ डाइट और एक्सोजेनसली टेकन एज अ फूड पार्टिकल. करेक्ट. सो हम फूड के फॉर्म में ये पॉलीसैकेराइड लेने वाले हैं, ये डाइसैकेराइड लेने वाले हैं. सो द कार्बोहाइड्रेट प्रेजेंट इन द फूड आर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ डाइसैकेराइड एंड द पॉलीसैकेराइड. So these disaccharides and polysaccharides doesn't have the ability to cross any biological membrane and come into the blood circulation. Unless and otherwise they are broken down into the simpler forms or the smaller molecules, means into the monosaccharides. So what are the system available in our body that can break down the disaccharide and polysaccharides into the monosaccharide? So definitely these are the enzymes that carry out this breakdown. So now the question is what? Where does the exactly digestion of carbohydrate will take place? So for this one, you must have clearly understood the various enzyme present in the various secretions secreted across the alimentary canal. And you should also know where these secretions are released. For example, you should know about the salivary amylase is secreted into the saliva, and saliva is secreted into the mouth. You should know the various enzymes are secreted by the pancreatic juice or as a component of the pancreatic juice, and these pancreatic secretions are secreted into the duodenum. Bile is secreted into the duodenum. So we should be familiar with the number of enzymes that are released, that are secreted into the alimentary canal. And if you will know which enzymes are secreted and where these enzymes are secreted, then it will be easy for us to explain the digestion of carbohydrate. Now we know very well where the enzymes responsible for the digestion of, we know very well the enzyme responsible for the digestion of carbohydrates are present. So the very first one, salivary amylase, it is responsible for the digestion, so it is present within the saliva. Number 2, pancreatic amylase, it is secreted by the pancreatic secretion and it is present in the duodenum. And further, another enzymes are present as a secretion of a intestinal juice or within the pancreatic secretion. What are that? That may be maltase, sucrase, fructase are the certain enzymes that are secreted by the pancreatic juice and the intestinal juice. They are also present in the intestine. So definitely the digestion of polysaccharide or the digestion of carbohydrates first of all will start within the mouth. So the digestion of carbohydrate takes place in mouth because of what? Enzyme present, salivary amylase. It also takes place in the stomach. Stomach doesn't have its own enzyme for the digestion of carbohydrate, but the salivary amylase present in the saliva. But the salivary amylase present in the saliva, through the saliva it reaches to the stomach, and unless the otherwise the stomach pH unless and otherwise the stomach pH become less than 3, this salivary amylase carry its function. So it become inactive when the stomach pH goes below 3. So as far as the pH of the stomach is more than the 3, the salivary amylase is still active and carry out the digestion of carbohydrates in the stomach. So the digestion of carbohydrate in the stomach takes place by means of an enzyme, by means of a presence of enzyme salivary amylase. And in small intestine, the another digestive enzymes for carbohydrates are also present. We will see that in the very next part of our discussion. So let us first of all see how the digestion of carbohydrate takes place in mouth. So as far as the carbohydrate digestion is considered, only 5% of the digestion of carbohydrate takes place in the mouth, and where the starch upon the hydrolysis with the salivary amylase gets converted into the maltose and other polymers of glucose. Other polymers of glucose, for example, alpha dextrins. This salivary amylase continue the digestion in the stomach unless the pH fall below 4. Below 3 or 4, it can be said in some book it is said the 3 or the 4. So whenever the pH of the stomach become less than 4, less than 3, the salivary amylase gets inactivated. But if the pH of the stomach is still more than 3 to 4, then salivary amylase is still active and continue the digestion in the stomach. It has been said that about 30 to 40% of starches are hydrolyzed in the stomach. So we said the 5% of the digestion of carbohydrates takes place in mouth, and about 30 to 40% of starches are hydrolyzed in stomach as well. But we said that the starch are broken down into the maltose, are broken down into the polymers of glucose. Still the digestion of carbohydrate is not over. So the complete digestion of the carbohydrate takes place in the next part of the alimentary canal, that is small intestine. What are the enzymes present in the small intestine that carry out the complete digestion of carbohydrate? And the answer is what? As that of the salivary amylase, pancreatic amylase. So pancreatic amylase is present within the pancreatic secretion or the pancreatic juice, and this time it is secreted into the duodenum in the very first part of the small intestine. So the pancreatic amylase carry out the remaining digestion of the starch. So means what? This pancreatic amylase carry out again the conversion of what we said, the 40 to 50% of digestion takes place within the stomach and the remaining digestion takes place by the pancreatic amylase. And this pancreatic amylase is found much more potent than that of the salivary amylase. So once these starch are converted into maltose, but still the digestion is not over. The final stages of digestion takes place by the various enzymes present in the intestine, being secreted as a part of intestinal juice, being secreted as a part of pancreatic juice. The first one, alpha dextrinase. Alpha dextrinase, another one lactase, maltase, sucrase. So these are the enzymes that carry out the terminal stage of digestion. Alpha dextrinase, it is the polymer of glucose. So brush border enzyme, it is a brush border enzyme which catalyze the hydrolysis of dextrose into the smaller fragments of the starch or into the smaller oligosaccharides. So alpha dextrinase is an enzyme present within the small intestine which catalyzes the hydrolysis of dextrins into smaller oligosaccharides. Another one lactase, the name itself indicates it carry out the conversion of lactose, which is also known as the milk sugar. So break down the lactose into the simple sugar, that is glucose and galactose. So lactase is broken down into the glucose and galactose. Glucose and galactose are considered as monosaccharides, and once they are converted into glucose, once the carbohydrates are converted into glucose and galactose, it is said that they are ready for the absorption. Another one maltase. Maltase carry out the conversion of maltose into a simple sugar known as a glucose. We said the starch with the help of salivary amylase, starch with the help of pancreatic amylase gets converted into maltose, and now this maltose with the help of enzyme maltase gets converted into glucose. And once the glucose is formed, it can be said that the digestion of carbohydrates is over. And the name itself sucrase indicate that it carry out the hydrolysis of sucrose into the glucose and fructose. Glucose, fructose and galactose are considered as the monosaccharide form of carbohydrates, and these are said to be ready for the absorption. So carbohydrates, unless and otherwise broken down into the monosaccharides, the process of digestion cannot be said completed. And once the process of digestion is over, so form fructose, glucose and galactose is now ready for the absorption. Now let us discuss. Now up to this, the digestion of carbohydrate is over, and I think that you might have understood how exactly the digestion of carbohydrate takes place. So let us recall whatever we discussed about the carbohydrates. We said the digestion of carbohydrate takes place in mouth with the help of salivary amylase. Salivary amylase carry out this digestion into the stomach unless the pH of the stomach falls below 3 to 4. Almost 40 to 50% of digestion takes place within the stomach. Digestion of starch takes place into the stomach. The remaining digestion of starch is carried out in a small intestine by pancreatic amylase. And another enzymes are also present in small intestine where they convert the disaccharide and the polysaccharide forms, of carbohydrates into the monosaccharides. And once the monosaccharides are formed in the form of fructose, glucose and galactose, the next process is followed. It is known as the absorption of carbohydrate. So what are the procedure by which the absorption of carbohydrate takes place? Now it is very clear for us, digestion is over. Now the carbohydrates present in our alimentary canal are in the form of galactose, fructose and the glucose. Mainly it is glucose, no doubt. Where does exactly absorption of carbohydrate takes place? Digestion takes place in mouth, stomach, small intestine. So where does exactly absorption takes place? So absorption can be said it starts with the stomach, but a very little absorption takes place within the stomach. Certain cations, certain anions, some drugs and alcohol, it is generally absorbed from the stomach, while the 90% of the absorption takes place from the small intestine. It is just because of what? The thickness of stomach. The thickness of stomach is larger as compared to the thickness of small intestine. Number 2, and why the thickness of stomach is larger? When we studied about the stomach, we said that there is a third additional muscle layer present within the structure of stomach, and just because of third additional structure present, the thickness of stomach is quite larger as compared to the thickness of small intestine. And another reason is what? The surface area of small intestine is quite large as compared to the stomach. As far as the food particles are considered, they stay within the stomach only for 1 hour. So it is not possible that the process of digestion and absorption will get completed within that 1 hour. So the absorption doesn't take place in the stomach. So the process of absorption takes place in the intestine, where the complete digestion of carbohydrate, complete digestion of fats and proteins has been taken place. And definitely, so it is a reason for what? The absorption. Mostly the absorption takes place from the small intestine. Is there any mechanism by which the absorption of monosaccharide will take place? So definitely we said that the absorption takes place when these polysaccharides are present in the form of monosaccharides. There are two mechanisms by which the absorption of carbohydrate will take place. Now it is very clear for us the absorption is nothing but the transfer of substances from alimentary canal, from GIT into the blood system, into the plasma, into the systemic circulation, can be said. Alternate terms you can use, means the transfer of food substances from alimentary canal into the blood, from alimentary canal into the plasma, from alimentary canal into the systemic circulation. So that is nothing but what? The absorption. It takes place by the two mechanism, facilitated diffusion, this one facilitated diffusion, and the active transport diffusion. Both diffusion can be said carrier mediated, and these carriers are nothing but the proteins which are present over the surface of any biological membrane. Absorption means what? Absorption means substances has to cross the biological membrane in order to enter from one side of the membrane to the another side. एक साइड से दूसरे साइड में जाना है मेम्ब्रेन के, मीन्स जीआईटी और ब्लड के बीच में अगर कोई बायोलॉजिकल मेम्ब्रेन है तो मेम्ब्रेन है जैसे कि गैस्ट्रिक म्यूकोजल मेम्ब्रेन, और ब्लड वेसल्स का भी मेम्ब्रेन प्रेजेंट है, दैट इज नोन एज द ब्लड वेसल मेम्ब्रेन और द वस्कुलर मेम्ब्रेन। मीन्स अगर सब्सटेंस एब्जॉर्ब होना है स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन से तो उसे क्रॉस करना पड़ेगा पहला मेम्ब्रेन जो विच इज नोन एज द गैस्ट्रोइंटेस्टिनल म्यूकोजल मेम्ब्रेन, उसे क्रॉस करना पड़ेगा। वो क्रॉस होने के बाद उसे वस्कुलर मेम्ब्रेन क्रॉस करना पड़ेगा, तब जाके सब्सटेंस कहाँ पहुँचेगा? तो ब्लड में पहुँचेगा, और ब्लड में पहुँचने के बाद थ्रू द सिस्टमिक सर्कुलेशन इट विल रीच थ्रू आउट आवर बॉडी, और इट विल रीच टू द ईच एंड एवरी सेल वट एवर इट इज रिक्वायर्ड, तो whom ever it is required, जिस किसी सेल को लगेगा उस सेल के पास वो पहुंचेगा। लेकिन ये जो ट्रांसफर होने वाला है अक्रॉस द बायोलॉजिकल मेम्ब्रेन, इट में बी आइदर नोन एज अ फैसिलिटेटेड डिवीजन और द एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट। दोनों ही मैकेनिज्म में करियर इन्वॉल्व है, एंड दिस करियर इज नथिंग बट द प्रोटीन प्रेजेंट ओवर द सरफेस ऑफ म्यूकोजल मेम्ब्रेन। सो व्हेन the transfer of substances takes place from higher concentration to the lower concentration with the help of carrier molecule known as facilitated diffusion, and when the transport of substances takes place from smaller concentration, from the area of smaller concentration to the area of higher concentration with the help of carrier molecule, it is known as a active transport. So fructose is generally absorbed by the facilitated diffusion, means carrier molecule is involved from the area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration, it will be moved, means हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन एलिमेंट्री कैनल में रहेगा, लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ब्लड में रहेगा, तो फ्रुक्टोज कैरी आउट होगा विद द हेल्प ऑफ करियर, विद द हेल्प ऑफ प्रोटीन मॉलिक्यूल, एट दैट टाइम इट विल बी नोन एज अ फैसिलिटेटेड डिफ्यूजन, एंड ग्लूकोज एंड गैलेक्टोज will get absorbed by the process known as the active transport, and it is said that it is a specific process that is known as secondary active transport। सिर्फ सिंपल एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट नहीं है तो क्या है, सेकेंडरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट है। तो एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट के दो टाइप्स हम देखेंगे, तो एक रहेगा प्राइमरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड द सेकंड वन सेकेंडरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट। एज वी आर वेरी वेल नोन दैट दिस एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट रिक्वायर्स द एनर्जी, so whenever it is said the primary active transport, the energy in the form of ATP is utilized, in the form of ATP is utilized, so at that time it is known as the primary active transport. But when the driving force is the differences on the ionic concentration on either side of the membrane, मेम्ब्रेन के दोनों बाजू में जो आयोनिक कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है वो अगर एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट को स्टिमुलेट करता है, बराबर, ड्राइविंग फोर्सेस इज द concentration gradient or the differences in the concentration of ions on the either side of the membrane. When it activates the active transport, at that time it is known as the secondary active transport. And this secondary active transport is generally coupled with the active transport of sodium ions. So means what? The glucose and galactose, in order to get absorbed, they are not absorbed as a singly, they are generally absorbed with the help of sodium ions. So as far as these carrier molecules are considered in secondary active transport, these carrier molecules are considered along with the glucose binding site. These carrier molecules are also having the binding sites of the sodium. So unless and otherwise these both binding sites are occupied, unless and otherwise all these binding sites are occupied by the sodium and the glucose, the transport or the absorption of glucose is not made possible. So it is a reason for what? It is a reason for what? In dehydrated patient. In dehydrated patient, generally glucose is administered along with the sodium. Means 2 teaspoonful of glucose are generally taken with a 1 pinch of sodium chloride salt. And generally the transfer or the absorption of this sodium and glucose is facilitated along with the water molecules. So this glucose and sodium chlorides, when dissolved in a water, it facilitates the good absorption. So as this sodium and glucose both occupies the binding sites and their absorption takes place in the similar direction, these transporters are known as a symport transport system. Symport means what? दो molecules आएंगे और दोनों molecules को transfer किया जाएगा in the similar direction. Means sodium and glucose are transferred in the similar direction. अगर दो molecules join होते हैं carrier molecules को, एक बाहर जाता है एक अंदर आता है, तो at that time it is known as the antipode transport system. So what we discuss about how exactly the absorption of monosaccharide takes place. We said maybe either by the facilitated diffusion or the second one active transport. This time it is a secondary active transport. Fructose is administered by the facilitated transport and sucrose is administered. Our glucose and galactose is administered. Absorbed with the help of secondary active transport. So let us start our next part. Our digestion and discussion related to the digestion and absorption of carbohydrate is over. Now how exactly the digestion of and absorption of proteins takes place? So we said that carbohydrates need to be broken down into monosaccharides in order to carry out its absorption. Now the proteins are required to be broken down into the amino acids in order to follow the absorption. And these proteins are broken down into the amino acid. It is known as the digestion of proteins. So where does exactly the digestion of protein will take place? So definitely the answer is what? Wherever the proteolytic enzymes are present, at that point the digestion of protein will take place. So the question is what? Whether the proteolytic enzyme is present in the mouth. So the answer is what? No. Whether the proteolytic enzyme is present in stomach? Yes, it is present. Which one? It is pepsin. Pepsin is a proteolytic enzyme present in the stomach. So we can say the process for the digestion of protein starts into the stomach, not into the mouth. And another proteolytic enzymes are also secreted by pancreatic juice and the intestinal juice, where the remaining digestion of protein will take place. So what are the proteins? These are the organic compounds consisting of carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, and sometimes it may consist of the sulfur and the phosphorus. What are these proteins made up of? So these proteins are made up of the large number of amino acids linked with the peptide chains. So let us start our discussion related to the digestion. So we said the digestion of the protein starts within the stomach because of what? It has a enzyme pepsin. So the 10 to 20% of digestion of protein takes place within the stomach, where this pepsin convert the protein into proteases, peptones and polypeptides. This pepsin is found to be present in the stomach. This pepsin is obtained from the inactive enzyme precursor. Inactive enzyme precursor secreted by the chief cell of stomach mucosa. This pepsinogen is generally present in an inactive form, and when it comes in contact with the acidic environment, when it come in contact with pepsinogen, when come in contact with the acidic environment, it gets converted into the pepsin. Generally, this pepsin is inactive when the pH of stomach is more than 5. Means in presence of the alkaline pH, this pepsin is inactive and cannot carry its function related to the digestion of protein when the pH of the stomach is more than 5. So pepsinogen gets converted into pepsin under the influence of gastric hydrochloric acid, and once the pepsin is formed itself, it carry out the conversion of pepsinogen into the pepsin. So the process of digestion of protein starts within the stomach, where the proteins are broken down into proteases, peptones and polypeptides. Here you can see the proteins are broken down with the help of pepsin into proteases, peptones and polypeptides. In intestine, the various proteolytic enzymes are present: trypsin, chymotrypsin and elastase. The trypsin and chymotrypsin are obtained from the inactive enzyme precursor trypsinogen and the chymotrypsinogen present in pancreatic juice. Trypsinogen is converted into trypsin with the help of enzyme enterokinase released by enterocytes of villi. And once the trypsin is formed, trypsin carry out the conversion of chymotrypsinogen into the chymotrypsin. So these proteases, peptones and the polypeptides, upon the action of trypsin, chymotrypsin and elastase, gets broken down into the polypeptides and amino acids. Up to this, we must say the 80 to 90%, up to this stage, 80 to 90% of digestion of protein is over. But still some of the terminal amino acids are attached to the carboxyl end of peptides. Remember, still some of the terminal amino acids are attached to carboxyl end of peptides, and these amino acids can be separated by an enzyme known as carboxypeptidase. Carboxypeptidase present within the pancreatic juice. So as these are responsible for the separation of amino acid from the carboxyl end of peptides, the name of the enzyme is given carboxypeptidase. So this carboxypeptidase carry out the conversion of polypeptides into peptides and amino acid. Further, these peptides are acted upon by the brush border enzyme peptidases, and which converts them into the amino acids. And once the amino acids are formed, we know very well that now the process of absorption of proteins in the form of amino acid can start. So what are the mechanism by which the absorption of protein will take place, and from where exactly the absorption of protein will take place? So the absorption of protein takes place into the duodenum and jejunum. We also discuss about the absorption of carbohydrate. So generally the digestion of carbohydrate takes place within the duodenum, and the absorption starts within the jejunum. When the carbohydrate reaches to the jejunum, the absorption of carbohydrate takes place. But now we are discussing about the proteins. Mainly it is absorbed from the duodenum and jejunum through the active transport. Some amino acids are directly transported through the different type of transporter. Some amino acid directly transported through the different type of transporter. बहुत तरह के transporter है. So with the help of that transporter, means carrier molecule, it can be easily transported. But some of the amino acids are absorbed by the similar mechanism of that of the glucose by secondary active transport coupled with the sodium. So that's all for the digestion and absorption of proteins. Now let us move our discussion to the next part, that is the digestion and absorption of fats. What kind of fats are generally present in the human diet? The fats present in the human diets are generally triglycerides. These triglycerides consist of the glycerol nucleus along with the three molecules of fatty acids: cholesterols, cholesterol esters, and phospholipids. So generally fats present in the human diets are of four types, that may be triglyceride, cholesterol, cholesterol ester, and phospholipids. So now, where the enzymes responsible for the splitting of fats are present. So the very first enzyme, lingual lipase, is present in the saliva. Then another one, gastric lipase, is present in stomach, and pancreatic lipase is present in the small intestine. So it is the reason for what the digestion of, sorry, I said the carbohydrate, it is not a carbohydrate, it is a fat. Digestion of fat takes place in mouth, stomach, and small intestine. In mouth, whatever the extent of digestion takes place in the mouth, it is found to be minimum, very minimum of the digestion of fat takes place in the mouth. So it is said that when the fat come in contact with the enzyme lingual lipase, it is an enzyme secreted by the serous glands present at the posterior part of tongue. At the posterior part of our tongue, serous glands are present, and these serous glands secrete the enzyme lingual lipase into the saliva. So when the fats, especially in the form of triglyceride, come in contact with lingual lipase, it broken down the fats into fatty acids and monoglycerides. As far as stomach is considered, the lingual lipase and the gastric lipase carry out the conversion of triglyceride into the lower glycerides. And it has been said that the less than 10% of triglyceride are digested within the stomach, and the remaining digestion of the triglyceride or the fat takes place within the intestine. Because of what? In the intestine, the biliary secretion and the pancreatic secretions are found to be present. But the most important as far as the digestion of fats is considered, it is the biliary secretion. So when the chyme reaches to the duodenum, it is mixed with the biliary secretion, that is the bile. Where the emulsification of fat takes place, means what? The fat globules are broken down into the smaller size. It results into the reduction in interfacial tension of the fats, and fats become much more water soluble. And now these emulsified fats are made ready for the action of pancreatic lipase, and this pancreatic lipase split the emulsified fats into the free fatty acids and monoglyceride. Now exactly how the absorption of fat will take place. So up to this one, what we said, the fatty acids or the fats are broken down into the fatty acids and monoglyceride. So with the help of what? So pancreatic lipase enzyme, but the pancreatic lipase cannot directly act over the fat particles. So unless and otherwise the fats are emulsified and broken down into the smaller globules, this pancreatic lipase could not be potent or could not be carry its function as effective as it can. Now let us discuss about how exactly the absorption of fat takes place. The absorption of fat generally takes place within the small intestine when they are broken down into the monoglycerides and fatty acids. And this absorption generally takes place within the villi. Within the villi, the lymphatic vessels known as lymphatic capillaries known as lacteals are present, and these lacteals are responsible for the absorption of fats. And this absorption of fat takes place by the simple diffusion, means what? From higher concentration to the lower concentration. Once these fatty acids, cholesterol, triglycerides enter into the blood and being insoluble in water, एक बार उसका एब्जॉर्प्शन हो जाए, वो ब्लड में आ जाए, तो देखा ही जाता है कि जो फैटी एसिड्स है, कोलेस्ट्रॉल है, ट्राइग्लिसराइड है, ब्लड में आने के बाद, whatever the cholesterol and triglyceride, इट इज नॉट एब्जॉर्ब, इट इज सिंथेसाइज बाय द लीवर। एक कुछ कोलेस्ट्रॉल ऐसे हो गए कि कुछ लोगों को सवाल आएगा कि ये कोलेस्ट्रॉल कैसे आ गए ब्लड में कैसे आ गए, ये तो ब्रोकन डाउन किए गए ना फैटी एसिड्स में, तो ये ब्लड में कैसे आए। तो ये कुछ कोलेस्ट्रॉल ऐसे होते हैं, ट्राइग्लिसराइड ऐसे होते हैं कि जो लीवर सिंथेसाइज करता है। तो ब्लड में कोलेस्ट्रॉल भी प्रेजेंट है, ट्राइग्लिसराइड भी प्रेजेंट है और फैटी एसिड भी प्रेजेंट है। So this cholesterol triglyceride, once the absorption is over, now our topic related to absorption is over. Absorption होने के बाद ब्लड में आने के बाद, as they are insoluble in water, they combine with a carrier protein known as a apoprotein. They combine with carrier protein known as a apoprotein to be transported through the blood. ब्लड के थ्रू अगर एक जगह से दूसरी जगह उसे लेके जाना है बॉडी में, बॉडी के अंदर, तो इट नीड टू बी combined with the apoprotein. And when the lipid combined with the apoprotein, now that complex is known as a lipoprotein. And these lipoproteins are of 4 types. You might have heard about that: high density lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoproteins, and chylomicrons. Very low density lipoprotein, and chylomicrons are considered fatal for us, while the high density lipoprotein is considered as a good lipoprotein. And the reason for that one is very different, because of what? The high density lipoprotein means it is the apoprotein which carries the transport the fat from the various tissue or the peripheral cells to the liver. लीवर के पास लेके आएंगे कोलेस्ट्रॉल को फ्रॉम द वेरियस टिश्यू, वेरियस सेल्स, इसलिए उसे गुड लिपोप्रोटीन कहा जाता है। वाइल जो बाकी के 3 हैं वो लीवर से कैरी आउट करते हैं इसको, फैट्स को। लीवर से फैट्स को लेके जाएंगे, ट्राइग्लिसराइड को लेके जाएंगे, कोलेस्ट्रॉल को लेके जाएंगे, कहाँ पे? फॉर देयर डिपोजिशन इनटू द सेल्स। दैट्स व्हाई दे आर नोन एज अ बैड लिपोप्रोटीन्स. So what is this one? Good lipoprotein and bad lipoprotein. So that is not a fact related to the absorption. Once the absorption is over, then these things are taken into the consideration. But our absorption is over up to this. यहाँ तक हमारा absorption खत्म हो गया कि जहाँ तक हमारा lacteal का discussion आएगा वहाँ तक. So that's all about our discussion, and I must say that this is going to be a very simple topic and a very easy topic. So you should not skip this topic, and whenever it is asked in the examination, should solve this topic. Thank you very much for watching, and for any query, doubt or the suggestion, feel free to comment. Generally you are not there to comment or asking the any query or the doubt suggestion. If any, feel free to comment. And now do not forget to like the video, to subscribe the channel if you found beneficial. Thank you very much once again.